Hello friends, welcome to the YouTube channel of the Leaf Hydroponic Farms. Today we will talk about the various kinds of the hydroponic systems. We all know what hydroponic stands for. The crops are grown in water, and one cardinal principle of growing crops hydroponically is that the roots of the plant should not go dry and at the same time should not drown. This thing will have to be taken care whatever system you adopt. So, there are many systems by which you can grow crops hydroponically. One of the most famous system is NFT, where the plants are grown in net pots suspended through the holes into pipes, which could be square pipe, rectangular pipe or a circular pipe, and these pipes are normally made up of PVC. The water flows into these channels from one end and comes out through the other end, on the way supplying nutrients to the crops placed in a series. NFT can be set up in different ways. They can be set up in flat bed, they can be set up in A-frame, they can be set up in flat bed vertically one above the other or a storied way. Then there is DFT, which means deep flow technique, where the water flows as a thick layer, as a little deeper layer, and these channels can be made again of PVC, but they can be dug into the earth, lined with poly sheets or lined with even bricks, or they are made up of fiberglass, either supported on a frame or they are buried into the soil. But again the water flows from the higher end to the lower end, in the process carrying nutrient. Another technique is the deep water culture, where a tank made up of fiberglass, PVC, wooden tank lined with poly sheet or a big concrete tank. The size of the tank in the deep water culture depends on the scale of your farm, whether you are doing it domestically in your home, in your balcony, on your roof, or you are doing the crops commercially in big tanks. The plants are suspended into the water tank, into the holes cut into thermocol sheets 1.5 inch thick or 2 inch thick, depending on the type of the crop and the type of the cup you are using. Then there could be ebb and flow, where you fill the tank, empty it after some time, fill the tank, empty it after some time, in the process wetting the roots of the plant time and again. The frequency of wetting depends on the type of the crop you are growing, type of the substrate you are using, and the season, whether it is hot, whether it is cold, whether it is dry, whether it is wet. Then there is another way to grow crops hydroponically, which normally people call soilless culture, where the plants are grown into substrate filled in buckets, in troughs or in grow bags. The growing medium can be perlite, it could be peat, it could be coco peat, or it could be a mixture of all these. It could be sand even, it could be rice husk even, and it could be even the grit. It all depends what kind of substrate you use. The common thing among all the system is that the nutrients are supplied to the plants dissolved in water, and the water is continuously fed to the plants, in the process get depleted. Either the plants take excess water, increasing the EC of the return solution, or they are taking more of the nutrient, decreasing the EC of the return solution. EC and pH of the return solution is very, very important, and it will indicate about the health of the plants as well. Now, what kind of system you adopt out of all these? It all depends on your scale, whether you are working at the domestic level, whether you are growing food for your own consumption, whether you are going to meet the local demand, or whether you are going to supply into distant markets. So, you will have to decide on that. Another thing common among all the hydroponic system is that the hydroponic farm should always be covered on the top with glass, with polysheet, which are transparent, or with retractile roofs during these days. Better if on the sides also use side nets to keep the insects away, and also use curtains of polysheet which can be moved up and down, or which can be drawn and removed, because that will be able to control the carbon dioxide concentration in the farm, on which the photosynthetic rate of the crop and the growth of the crop depends. So, friends, before taking up any system, you must decide on three factors: what is your scale of growing, what level of farm you want to have, what are the crops you are growing, and what kind of environment you have at a particular place. All these three factors will determine what kind of hydroponic system you should adopt at your farm. The only thing is, all system requires a bit of training. You cannot do hydroponic farming without having a basic knowledge of certain factors of the system, automation of the system, the nutrients, supply of the nutrient, power usage, and many more things. Again, everything depends on the economy of scale and the economy of your demand. If you are growing crops which are sold at a cost, or premium crops, you can afford to have most automatic or the best system in the world available. But if you are growing it for local markets, the normal crops, the normal food crops, in that case you will have to be little careful how much you spend on automation and how much you spend on the equipment. It is better to have a hydroponic farm which will have one or the other kind of floor covering. It could be a mat, it could be pavers, it could be lined bricks, it could be grits. The purpose of all this is to keep a check on the growth of weeds below the farm, because weeds will be a nuisance and also will bring disease into the plant, into your project. So, friends, you can adopt any system, learn it, perfect it, see the crop you want to grow, see the other things available in your area, and adopt the system you want. In the substrate culture, people are using Dutch buckets, people are using bateau buckets, people are using grow bags, one time use grow bags, and now long time 5 to 7 years reusable grow bags are also available in the market. When you are using substrate system, in that case you will have to use one or the other kind of drip irrigation, and then you will have to have an outflow of liquid or outflow of the nutrient, which will not be very much, it could be 25 to 30% of what you will give to the plants, and that nutrient, if you have a facility to analyze it chemically, you can reuse it, or that can always be sold or put into the crops which are grown in the soil. We will keep on informing, talking about every aspect of the hydroponic system in detail. In our next videos, we will discuss about all these systems one by one in greater detail. How can you efficiently work with these systems? And we will keep on disseminating this knowledge about the hydroponic farming, which is the future of agriculture, which is the future of food production. Good quality food, healthy food will be produced through the hydroponic system. If you like this video, please subscribe to our channel and also share this video with your friends, so that the knowledge can reach to every person whosoever is interested in starting hydroponically growing food at domestic level for personal use or at commercial level as a business. Thank you very much.